Hello YouTube and welcome back to Fire Gaming Project. So in this short video, I will be doing a Venti review. I've actually never done one on this channel yet, so I figured it was time to do one now. And if for those of you who have been following me already, you would have known that I already previously thought that he would be rerunning on this current patch 2.5 back in 2.4. Of course, that is proven not true. That was my first estimate, and then I did an updated review for 2.5 predictions, banner predictions. And then, of course, that was also when people were speculating that it would be Raiden Shogun and Kokomi, and of course Yaimiko, which we all know has been confirmed now for this 2.5 patch. So now moving forward, like looking ahead for 2.6, the time of releasing this video, basically what has happened is that the Raiden Shogun and Kokomi banners have just gone live, I think as of yesterday, early yesterday maybe. And basically, as we know, after the second phase or second part of every patch, then 1 week later, approximately 1 week and a half-ish, so next weekend, Friday or weekend, we will be expecting the next preview live stream to be happening for 2.6 in this case. So I figured Venti has a high chance of coming back. Now, previously, for 2.5, there was other characters that I had predicted that we all have predicted, and we're all expecting them already, okay? So there's nothing new here. I'm not doing anything that's groundbreaking here, but I wanted to do a review here. We already expect Kazuha, Yoimiya, and Ayaka to come back as well. We also expect Klee. Speaking of Klee, she will be the next review video I'll be doing after this one, so stay tuned. But yes, let's just quickly get to Venti now. Alrighty, so let's get to it. Make sure that you guys are subscribed, though, by the way, and make sure you guys hit the like button and the thumbs up, and make sure that you guys feel free to leave me comments and questions. Are you guys planning to poll for Venti if and when he returns for a rerun in 2.6? If he comes back in 2.6, if he doesn't come back in 2.6, then maybe it's 2.7, but let's just put this out there now. Yeah, so anyway, this is my build for him. I have not really changed my build of him since early, mid-late game-ish, the early part of my late game, I mean. And so it really hasn't changed. His crit rate is below 50, unfortunately. I did not give him better crit rate pieces. I also did not heavily farm the ANEMO dungeon again to get better pieces for him, but I ended up getting better pieces for other characters instead, and I prioritized them over him. You can ignore the 15% resistance thing. It's because the current team I have has the elemental resonance. Now, in terms of weapon builds, he definitely is ANEMO, and he will benefit from elemental mastery. So the stringless is his best 4-star weapon. He has his own 5-star weapon. I don't have it. I always forget the name of it, but anyway, he has one. And obviously that will be his best in slot for those who want to get that for him and kit him out and who love him. I never really, I would say I never felt that he was a must-pull character, to be very honest. I'm happy and grateful that I do have one copy of him, but actually I have C1 actually. I'll go into that. That was a mistake. For those of you who have followed me, you'll know my journey with him. So I haven't really been using him much. Even like now for like the early like Abyss, like floor 9s and 10s, I don't even use him on that anymore. So I don't know. But anyway, Stringless is his best. For those of you who have been around since 1.4, you may have the Windbloom Ode. This is basically a free event version of the Stringless, which is also decent. Okay, if you have 5-star options, of course his own bow is the best. I don't have it because I didn't go for it, but other people have tried out these other bows on him. I'll be honest, I don't think these are suitable for him. These ones are specific for like more DPS characters, such as like Yormia and Child, like sub DPS or DPS. Of course, you can turn Venti into those, and that's fine. But I don't recommend wasting these bows on him. If you don't have those characters though, and you have these bows, then maybe sure. The Amos bow is not really suitable for him because you will not be using his normal and charge attacks, so it's not necessary. And then the other one that is universally good and was his best in slot until they released his other weapon that's specifically for him, his signature weapon, when they had his reruns before, it was the Skyward Harp. Now, that's just a universally good weapon. The Skyward series is like a universal, 5-star series that most characters can benefit from. So if you have that lying around from losing 50-50 perhaps on the weapon banner or from the standard banner, then that's also a good option as well. I don't have that either. So yeah, so that's why I'm fine with him with a stringless. Now, other people may have chosen to give him a Black Cliff if you want to increase his damage. That's okay too, because he can proc the passive, because he should be able to kill if you build him, he should be able to kill off characters enemies, sorry, fast enough to proc the passive. So it's okay. He again will not benefit from the rust because he will not do any normal attack. You will at least I don't use him that way. Um, Sacrificial is okay, but his elemental skill isn't that useful, so it's okay. But like, and you can get the energy recharge, so this is okay if you're early game. And then Favonius is okay too for energy, but then you will need to make sure that you have crit rate, so that you can then land the passive because you need crit hits in order to get that extra energy back. But he can get lots of energy back already, so you don't need to worry about that. But you do need to make sure that his energy is decently high. The Hamayumi is also okay, but again, like you're not going to use normal and charge attack, so it's probably not. This is like a mini Amos bow, so I wouldn't recommend either. And then last but not least, there are these ones. So this is a limited weapon, Alley Hunter. This is more for off-field characters, because when the character is on the field, they will lose damage, but when they're not on the field, but he doesn't have anything that can stay on the field after he leaves, so this is not suitable for him. The compound bone is for if you want to use him for physical damage. Again, not suitable for him because normal and charge attacks are not suitable for him. So really, he has very limited weapons that he should be able to use and take advantage of. So again, Stringless is his best 4-star. If you guys are able, if you guys are able to get this, excuse me. And of course, for those of you who are older players, if you have this, then feel free to put this on him too. If you don't have the Stringless, and again, the 5-star options. Again, Skyward Harp is a good default option, and if you really love him, then go for his signature weapon. Okay, moving along. So he will benefit the best from the 4-piece Viridescent Venerer set. So enough said, that's just what it is. I don't have good pieces, I'll be honest. But because he is also ANEMO and he does lots of swirling damage, so Elemental Mastery is also appreciated. You could definitely do 3 Elemental Mastery for these 3 pieces here, but I also did not do that because I don't have very good Elemental Mastery pieces. I actually foddered a lot of them, so I just gave him ANEMO here instead. And then this one I gave him Crit Rate instead because again, as I just said, I don't get a lot of Elemental Mastery pieces, and when I do get them, a lot of them are garbage, so I just fodder them. So this is okay. So it's kind of like a semi-hybrid build, let's say. All right, moving along, Constellations. I did mention earlier, I do have his C1. I will make this very clear. I did make this mistake of getting his C1. I do not recommend getting the C1. You don't need it. This was back when I was kind of starting to like, dolphin spend a little bit. This was when I missed, because I started this game right at the end of his banner, so I missed him, and I got Klee and Child, etc., and thereafter. So when he came back for his first rerun, I was super excited, and I went a little bit crazy on it, and I went for this C1, and I was silly, and I thought that his C1, I misread it. I thought his C1 was similar to Ganyu, with the 3 shots, basically 2 additional shots. I thought it was that's what I misread it and misinterpreted it as, that he'll get 2 more shots, like you know how her bloom damage. That's not the case. He just shoots 2 more arrows next to it, and it's pointless. It's pointless. I'll just tell you that right now. Okay, C2. This one helps because he will have basically additional shred, I think. Decreased opponent, yeah, animal and physical shred. So this is good, but I decided not to bother going further with him, and luckily I didn't. I don't recommend going further. C3 obviously is +3 levels. C4 is going to give him more animal damage. C5 is +3 levels, and C6 again will shred more animal resistance decreased. And yeah, I would just not really bother, I'm going to be honest. At this day and age, although he is an Archon and he, just like Zhongli and Raiden Shogun, they're all Archons, of course, but I will say that Zhongli is still relevant now, and same with Raiden Shogun, of course. But I don't think, unfortunately, I don't think that Venti has aged as well, so to speak. He is no longer as relevant. So I want to make that very clear here. I don't recommend, even if he was coming, unless you coming back for a rerun, I don't know if it's actually still relevant. Now, he still can do really good damage, just so we're clear, and he's still good, and he still does things that other characters cannot do, but he's no longer as good anymore. Sorry, my phone was just going off a little bit, so I hit the silence. So in terms of priorities for his talents, I would just recommend skipping the normal altogether. I don't know why I bothered even wasting some resources here and making this level 6. This should just be left at level 1, quite honestly. Your focus is on the alt because that's the majority of his damage, and that's what you want to focus on. You can probably consider crowning this as well. I did not. Instead, I gave my crowns to other characters that I ended up using instead. I don't use him as much as I said before, so that's why I didn't bother wasting any crowns on him because crowns are very limited. Just use your crowns on your favorite characters and the characters that you use the most often, especially for Abyss. That's my main priority. Okay, and then the skill here, it's not horrible, but it doesn't do much more. It does have some utility to it, but it's not like any more useful. It's okay, but focus on this. Yeah. And then this one, there's an upcurrent, it will last longer when you hold this down. Basically, it's like for utility. Yeah. And then this one, he'll get more energy once you do the alt, basically. And then lastly, this one is just gliding stamina consumption is decreased. So it's not a major thing, and definitely he's still a very viable character, but I don't recommend pulling for him, unfortunately, even though that I predict that he will be coming back in the next patch. But yeah, I am going to do, instead of, normally I do my reviews with a boss battle, but in his case, he's not going to really be like used for that. Let me just make it very clear. So he's actually better to just use for the swirling and the crowd control. So that's why I chose this dungeon to suck all these characters, these enemies together. See, he does a really good job there. And then I brought Yoimiya here so that I can then infuse it, right? Yeah, so that's basically, you know, and then you just use him as support there, and then that's how you basically essentially just finish off the battle. Well, actually, I can just suck her in again if I want. There. Just for the hell of it. And there you go. So he's still very useful. I'm not going to claim it, of course, but he's very useful and he still has his uses. He's just unfortunately, in a way, power crept and also has been sidelined by other characters that I love more, such as Kazuha. I won't do a comparison here, but anyway, Kazuha is also expected to come back on a rerun, whether in 2.6 next patch or the following patch, 2.7. I've already done reviews of those characters, and they're still valid. I haven't changed anything really major for them. I may have swapped some artifact pieces here and there, but no major change since I did those review videos. Please do check those out, and please also stay tuned for my next video where I'll be talking about another expected character who is going to rerun that I have not done a video for yet, and it's my baby girl, Klee. Please stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you. Oops, that's the wrong button. Thank